welcome back to Shay Days. Today we are making another amazing meal prep inspired by the Dominican Republic. Not only does their food taste amazing, but it is often very affordable. You got chicken, beans, rice, plantains, but that tastes really, really good. So it's 4 days worth of meal prep for 2 people for $20. $20. $20. 4 days worth of lunch meal preps for 2 people for only $20. Let's get good.
Alright, y'all, that intro took way too long to make, so let's jump into what I'm actually good at, which is cooking. So you're going to start out by washing your chicken. You've got water. They usually wash it with vinegar. I think it gives it like a nice taste. I only use part of the chicken that we had in that pack, but the $20 includes all of those chickens because you will need all of those, but you could barbecue those or air fry those later. This is just what would fit into the pot. So to marinate the chicken, we're going to basically get some cilantro, half of a green bell pepper, half of a red bell pepper, then about 5 cloves of garlic, and half of a red onion. Then you're going to blend that up to use that to marinate the chicken. Whenever you're also mixing this in to marinate a chicken, you also want to add in some adobo spice. So see, just blend it up real small. I didn't include that in the video. I didn't really include adobo in any of this. I don't know why it didn't end up in there. But anyways, so you're just going to use that to marinate the chicken for at least 30 minutes. Overnight would be even better. But also something they do is they heat up some oil and they cook some sugar into the oil. And you want to constantly check that because you do not want it to burn. But it does add a good flavor. So then the rest of that bell peppers and onions, we're just going to slice them up just like, if you're making fajitas or something. So you're going to slice those up fairly finely, and we're going to add that to cook the chicken in a bit. We're also going to add a couple of cloves of garlic. If you have one of those mincers, that would be even better. I don't have one, so I just chopped it up. Celery is also optional. I just had some in my fridge, so I thought I'd just slice those up and put those in there as well. And lastly, we've got some 4 beautiful Roma tomatoes that I also put in there. And now that that sugar is cooked, we are adding in our chicken to cook just by itself with the blended veggies and the Sazon seasoning. That's what that looks like. You can find it at really any grocery store. And you can also add some adobo allspice seasoning at this point, but we're just going to basically cook them all the way through until it kind of dries up like this. And then we're going to add in all those beautiful veggies that we had chopped up to cook those in as well. And just top it off with a bit of salt if you think it needs it. And 1 cup of water. But I would recommend adding some sort of chicken broth or chicken bouillon paste. I think it would give it some really good flavor. And then next, we are going to toast up the rice. The way that they do it is they add a good amount of oil to the bottom of a pot. And then add 4 cups of washed jasmine rice. And then just let the bottom toast for a bit. Then stir it. Make sure it doesn't, burn to the bottom. And this added a really good texture to the rice that I really enjoyed. So if you want to add it to a rice cooker, that's fine. But this way tasted great. And then you just add 6 cups of water, put the lid on, and let it simmer. You just got to fluff it up. And it does look like the rice is done. Sorry, I had to leave the volume up on that one because I loved how my son sounded and speed it up forward. But next you're going to cook your beans if you have dried beans. And then we're also going to do plantains. The way the Dominicans do it is they actually grab green ripe plantains and then they cut them about 1 inch or 2 thick. And then they fry them, not completely done. You don't want them golden brown yet. You just want them nice and yellow. And then you're going to smash them down. And then we are going to refry them. I actually really enjoyed them this way. I don't know what it was, but it just tasted really, really good. Not what I'm used to. I'm used to the West African way. But don't tell my husband, but I actually I think I might prefer this way better. It just tastes so good. And then at this point, you do want to get them golden brown on each side. Now onto the beans. Now, these beans took me forever. I really should have either cooked them beforehand or just used some canned ones. You'll either have 2 cans of red kidney beans or 1 whole bag of dried kidney beans. But once your beans are ready to go, this next part goes super quickly. You're just going to have sliced up bell pepper. I have green and red, then a purple onion, and some butternut squash. And once those have been sauteing for just a few minutes, you're going to add in about 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, some Sazon seasoning, and adobo powder. And then just mix all of those to combine. And you don't need to cook them for too much longer because we will be adding the beans next. And to the beans, we'll also be adding some water. Again, try to use chicken broth if you can. If not, the water turned out fine. You just need a bit more seasonings. But here I have 2 cups of water to start out with. Then we're just going to cover it up and let it cook for about 10 minutes. And then to thicken up that sauce, we are going to scoop up some of those beans and veggies and juice and everything and put it into a blender to blend it up and then add it back in there. Now, if you're not used to cooking beans, it's a very forgiving process, and I highly recommend people start cooking with beans. They are very underrated. They're high in protein, high in fiber, super delicious, and super affordable. So try out these beans, give them a go, and let me know what you think. Like for these, I cooked them for a bit longer with the lid on. They needed a bit more garlic salt, added it in there, and ended up tasting amazing at the end.
An amazing looking meal prep so far. Honestly, just a simple week's worth of food. Tons of protein, tons of just full natural products, tons of veggies. We've got some really hearty, yummy, flavorful beans, and these are so cheap. What did this whole thing, what might have cost us $2 to make? So cheap. Honestly, the most expensive thing was like the squash. And then we have our chicken, 2 for each day. Then we have tons of rice. I don't think I'll eat all that rice. I should have made like half as much. And some yummy crispy plantains. I already ate like half. And then of course you want just fresh tomatoes and lettuce just to pair perfectly. So I don't want to dish out all 4 meals for this week because I don't want this rice to get all soggy. But I am just going to show you guys how it looks.
So there it is, guys. We made a traditional Dominican dish for meal prep for the entire week. It is called La Bandera. If you want to look at different recipes to make that, I'll have it written down below because I'm sure I didn't say it properly. But yeah, you just kind of dish it out with some beans and chicken. And like I said, my husband and I ate this the entire week pretty much for lunches and such. There was so much here that I actually ended up just eating like 1 chicken per day for my lunches, since there was more beans and rice and those plantains as well. Plantains were a lot better fresh, but soaked in with all that sauce and everything, it ended up tasting good a few days later. So highly recommend it. There's a ton of veggies. I felt really great. The beans, everything really good. The Dominican, swear it's at. We're going to have to do it again. Give it a try.
That hungry, huh? Your tomatoes filled you. Oh.
Is that yummy?